Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here at this conference to debate and to discuss very important topics, not only for our industry, but as it was said several times today before, it's important for our complete society. Yes, so the development of the digital technologies is evolving. We have seen that it adds benefits, creating new products, new services, but actually it's changing the entire industries, like the cloud application platforms, the real-time management, analytics, and finally it's disrupting entire society. So the artificial intelligence, the virtual reality, augmented reality are very disrupting. So as these technologies are becoming more and more accessible and affordable, it helps industry to gain agility, profitability, and competitiveness. It's about not only opportunities, it's also disruption, because many business models will disappear. Some of the existing ones will evolve, will develop, and new business models will arrive. That's why it's important for all the companies which are going through this path not only to use the digital technologies, but really to create a digital transformation strategy throughout the organization. So the message here is not just digitize, but transform. The digital transformation is the total and every moment effect of the digitization of the society. For defining and implementing such a transformation, we cannot just apply the digital technologies or the tools or the business models and the standards and to hope that this will improve. We need really to transform the way we work, we live, and we interact. This profound transformation is happening in all sectors of the societies, and it's also bringing a lot of risks, which we also have to manage. And it was discussed earlier today several times. I just want to mention that the cybersecurity is now, so the companies are more and more in charge of the transformation and of the cybersecurity, and the compliance with the global regulatory standards has an increased importance. In order to implement a successful digital transformation throughout the entire organization, when it comes to manufacturing industry, we need to consider to maximize the life cycle of the asset, to optimize the operations, and to enable the people. And very much was already said and very nicely described from my predecessor speakers. So I just try here to spend some minutes on the people part. So the digital transformation is also changing the organization paradigm. So we discussed that the new skills are required, new working forms will develop. So the digitization cannot be seen as a people threat. Even if we know that some jobs will disappear, some will transform, some will shift, but we believe that the sum of the effects will be positive. And I want to highlight three aspects for this. There is no dispute today that the digital transformation creates jobs within the information and communication technology. But the digital market creates also jobs related to that, which are not themselves digital. And a good example, in my opinion, is the ecosystem which is emerging around the drone manufacturing, because it requires hardware supplier, but also insurance company, marketing, event organization, and other domain-specific services. Secondly, the digitization reduced the cost for setting up a new business and finding employment. It creates opportunities for small companies to innovate and to grow faster. and to distribute more easy their products and services. And third, the digitization enables new way of working. So it's opening the working market for people who otherwise will have difficulties to enter this market. And this trend has been driven by the collaborative platforms. So what I said is, and we several times today, that digitization transformation is the transformation of our complete society. And in our industry, the electrotechnical industry is present in the 5 markets which were seen before. So the biggest one is, let's say, the building and everything which is happening in the building market. So the digitization and the digital transformation is changing all the aspects of how we will live in the future. First of all, regarding the building automation system, which are evolving and are creating opportunities through the energy efficiency. But these savings are now upgraded and this will increase the return on investment for the widespread adoption of the sensorized building system, which is actually the smart building. So the building performance system have evolved significantly over the past 10 years. And there are several researches trying to size the market. The latest one I was reading was sizing around 20 billion euro by 2020, which is actually tomorrow, through enterprise energy management, fire security, property management. Another aspect of the building sector is so not only the building automation and the efficiency and performance of the building, but it's also the property management. So what does it mean for a property manager? For them, success means that they are keeping the property unit full, that the renters are satisfied, that the underlying infrastructure is working, machinery is working in perfect condition. The digital technologies enable us to collect, to aggregate, cleanse, structure, and visualize the data from the different existing sources, providing process automation and increase the value of the property. The third aspect when we discuss about building is the real estate market itself, which also will evolve through new business models. However, in our opinion, artificial intelligence in building automation lags behind other sectors, particularly in the applications linked to machine learning. This lag is partly due to the challenges of integrating software automation in legacy building systems, but also has much to do with the heavy complexity of this system. And also in this sector, like in all the others, cybersecurity becomes of increased importance. So also the way we will produce, of course, will change a lot. And here I don't want to spend much time. Professor Wegener has very nicely described the Industry 4.0, everything which is happening in the factory, the digital twin. Another notion which is linked to the digital factory is the digital thread, when we are passing the information also in time from one phase of the life cycle to the next one. And all the benefits of the digital factory were clearly shown. I think the message here is that if we integrate all these aspects and we optimize, we will exponentially get the benefit of the digitized factory. I will then spend a little bit more time on another aspect of the society, which is the way how we will power in the future. Because this is one of the major paradigm shifts which we are experiencing now as a consequence of the digitization, so the energy field. From the centralized unidimensional energy flow, we are now going to a generation which is much more diverse and dispersed, and we know that we will have the distributed energy resources which are increasing everywhere. The digital balancing of the transmission grid is known since many years. So the big shift coming now is the significant volume of the distributed energy resources, mainly wind and solar, which is highly volatile and which need to be integrated in the distribution grid and matched and balanced with the different consumer profiles. So this is the big shift which we are seeing today. We see also a drastic reduction of the cost of photovoltaic and the storage technologies, and this combined with different economic schemes in the different countries meant to boost the green technology almost everywhere, will lead to the appearance of the prosumer profile, and the prosumer brings with it also a complex new business models. The roles of the classical actors of the energy market is changing and new actors are entering. So the energy service companies, the technology and software companies like ours, but also startups which are building a new ecosystem offering outcome-based models like energy as a service and digital platforms models for microgrid, for virtual power plants. In the next coming years, we are convinced that these models will evolve even more, and we will see the peer-to-peer solution based on blockchain technology. We will see the integration of smart home and building and other different forms of artificial intelligence in the new energy grid. The diversity of the system and ecosystems will increase, so there is no one form fits it all, and depending on the maturity and the local reality, this digital transformation will help different players to be part of the orchestration of these complex systems. Another interesting aspect is the mobility, so the way we will move in the future. And this is tightly linked to the clean energy. So the transportation sector is also going through big changes. Because really it doesn't help much if the electrical vehicles are powered with fossil energy. So building, energy and transportation are part of the same equation when it comes to solve the overall climate change problems and the health issues linked to pollution, which we still have in many parts of the world. The prosumer business model in residential, commercial and industrial sectors are all including the different e-mobility concepts as part of the model. Beside the tight interconnection and interdependency of building, transportation and energy, the mobility of the future has its own opportunities and challenges to master. Last but not least, how we will keep our health in the future will also change a lot with the digitization and artificial intelligence. According to Gartner, Gartner defines the big data as the 3 V's, so high volume, high velocity, and high variety information assets. While all the 3 V's are extremely important, the variety is becoming the single biggest driver when it comes to big data investment, as it's seen on all the recent surveys. And this trend will continue to grow, and there is no bigger diversity and variability than life itself. So as there are no two equal individuals, we expect also that the healthcare will be more customized and individualized in the future. And the demographic trends require also that we become much more cost efficient, that we prevent more, and overall that we will use the digital transformation to improve the life quality and life expectation. Ladies and gentlemen, Europe is at the front edge of the development because we have the vision, we have the tradition, and we have the political will to back up this with financial means. And it was very nicely also shown today when we discussed all the initiatives, all the ambitions we have in Europe. Another thing which I would like to highlight, which is always pleasing me to see, is that the European countries are innovative. So the Global Innovation Index, which is measuring the innovation capabilities of the different countries, shows again in 2017 that 8 of the 10 top countries are European countries. Compared to United States, the strength of the European countries when it comes in this index and innovation is the institutional structure, but also the human capital, so education and creativity. On the other side, US is much stronger in investment, in venture capital, in competitiveness, and also in the market size. And also this comparison shows the advantage of more European integration. Another aspect is 60 to 77% of the young people in Central and Eastern Europe believe in the European project. And most of the European countries have a high ration of population with a solid education when we compare it to the upper secondary level. But we still have a lot to do. Even if around 84% of the European companies stated that they invested a lot in the last year, still at the European level, only 44% of the machinery and equipment is a state of the art. And the global competition and technological investment call for a quick action. More than 56% of the European companies are operating today above or the maximum capacity. So beside the investment which is needed in industry, there is a need of investment in digital infrastructure, in smart grid, energy efficiency, services, etc. I would like to so why? Oh, it's missing one slide, but I can talk you through that because I wanted to finish my presentation with telling 2 words about ZVEI. It's our German Association of Electrical and Electronic Industry. And we are a very innovative, we are representing a very innovative industry. We are representing an industry of over 190 billion euros with hundreds of thousands of people employed in Germany and outside Germany. And please don't forget that 40% of our turnover comes from product and solutions which were developed over the last 3 years. So we are really very innovative. Every third solution we have on the factory floor, it's coming from a solution from the electrical and electronic industry. Another fantastic aspect is that this association is, as Dr. Mittelbach said today, 100-year-old, so we have our 100th birthday. And the fact that we had an association which kept an industry together over 100 years through the last century with all the events, with all the tragical and difficult phases of our history, this is a fantastic achievement. And we want to be here also for the next 100 years, so we are extremely committed to what is coming in the future. And this was also very nicely shown, our involvement in the future development plans of Europe, in the future innovation plans of Europe. And we have been, and we are, and we will be in the future, a partner of the policymakers. We are a very competent partner, and we are with the policymakers not only to develop the long-term strategy, but also to advise in the everyday work so that our industry remains competitive and has a nice future. Thank you very much.